This Use a Play is brought to you by...
They ask us how we do it, how we outrun the world. They ask us, how does it feel to fly? How do we dive headfirst into the deep? And emerge victorious. They ask us if we're afraid, if we're nervous, or if we ever feel lonely, so far away from home. But the truth is, home is always right here with us. Get ready to witness the magic of the Olympic Games like never before.
It's Monday, August 8th, and time for the Barbados Today Morning Update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. The Royal Barbados Police Force is grappling with manpower issues, so says former Attorney General Dale Marshall, who charged that the force is 200 short of officers. Speaking at a Barbados Labour Party press conference over the weekend, Marshall, who is the opposition MP for St. Joseph, also claimed that members of the RBPF are being forced to work in the most trying circumstances without the necessary incentives.
These officers are being asked to work without the benefit of something that we gave them when we were in government, an allowance for extra duties, flexi pay, which gave them encouragement to work their shift and then to come out and pull even more weight on another shift to help to solve the problem, because the police force is roughly 200 down in terms of its ideal manpower. But our officers, they've performed really well. But the reality to them is that the circumstances in which they are operating are significantly worse than they were when the Barbados Labour Party was in government. They had a tremendous amount of allowances. We ensured that the vehicular fleet was refreshed constantly. We ensured that they were fully equipped. Whatever they needed, we made sure the police force got. Instead, what we have now is a politicized organization, which is in effect being emasculated, but yet still police officers are being expected to function in the most trying of circumstances.
He also charged that some officers have been forced to take early retirement because of the situation.
Some of them are taking early retirement, and in some respects it is as a result of the added stress on the health component, but some have deliberately decided to take early retirement, and you know, I would challenge the Attorney General to refute this, simply because the conditions, the human resources conditions under which they're being asked to work have become impossible. You know, the police force is one institution that no country can afford to politicize. We really don't think you should politicize any institution, but you know, when you're dealing with law and order, that has to be the safety net for all that Barbados is and all that Barbados can be.
In other news, consumers are paying less for gasoline, diesel, kerosene, and liquefied petroleum gas. Gasoline now costs 8 cents less, moving from $2.93 per litre to $2.85. The price of diesel dropped from $2.07 per litre to $2.04. Kerosene now sells at 98 cents per litre, down from $1.03. Meanwhile, a 100-pound cylinder of liquefied petroleum gas now costs $135.27, down from $136.99, a decrease of $1.72. The price of the 25-pound cylinder has dropped from $39.35 to $38.92, while the 22-pound cylinder will now cost $34.41, down from $34.79. That's 38 cents less. The new price of a 20-pound cylinder is $31.28, which is 35 cents cheaper. Organizers of the Clean Beam campaign, which recently began, say they have collected 225 tons of garbage around the island so far. The cleanup drive is being undertaken by the Barbados Tourism Product Authority. The latest effort was an underwater cleanup at Brandon's Beach on Saturday in collaboration with the Coastal Zone Management Unit. That's the BTPA's National Tourism Host Program Manager, Marsha Arlene, told Barbados Today it is important to clean up the island not only for visitors, but for locals as well.
Cleanliness is one of the pillars with which we actually sell Barbados. We sell Barbados on its cleanliness, we sell Barbados on its friendliness, and we sell Barbados on the fact that it's actually a safe destination. And if we lose any of those three pillars, we could lose the position we have as a competitive advantage as a tourism destination. Well, I don't believe that you have to really do a guessing game to walk around the island and see that there is pollution all across every aspect of the society. Areas that you pass through, there are illegal dumping areas at strategic places around Barbados that are in the public eye, and it's not just for our guests alone. We're not doing this for our guests, we're doing this for ourselves, because if we don't do it for ourselves, for us Barbadians first, then we're not going to make a difference for our guests. We need to clean Barbados because we as a Barbadian society believe that it should be clean and our guests will benefit.
The Urban Development Commission is focusing on plans for solar-powered streetlights, and it's getting the thumbs up from Minister within the Office of the Prime Minister, Senator Patrick Todd. Senator Todd told the service to mark the UDC's 19th anniversary at the Wesleyan Holiness Church yesterday that such facilities are necessary, especially in times of natural disasters.
The Commission has started experimenting with a street lighting initiative utilizing solar panels and has installed units at Marshall Parkinson Gap, Extine Village, St. Michael, and will observe the sustainability of that project before moving to other sites. And I dare say I welcome this initiative because I reflect on the fact that in the case of a natural disaster, be it a hurricane or even a major power outage, generally, those standalone solar-powered street lights can definitely aid in ensuring that persons who traverse our nation's streets in such circumstances would be in relative safely, since the national grid or the electricity supply in a particular area may be out, and the regular street lights would therefore be not in working order.
In sports, disappointment for Barbadian athletes who competed in the Olympic Games in Rio on the weekend. Local tennis ace Darian King, who reached the Games via wild card entry, was beaten in his first outing on Saturday by American Steve Johnson. Johnson won in straight sets 6-3, 6-2. In swimming, Alex Sobers failed to advance in the men's 400-meter freestyle. Sobers placed fourth in Heat 2 on Saturday in 3 minutes 59.97 seconds. And on Sunday, Lani Cabrera suffered the same fate after placing 6th in Heat 1 of the women's 400-meter freestyle. She finished in 4 minutes 28.95 seconds.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Get your paper. Only 225, 220. Who? For what? That's the bear stale news. I don't read about that on Barbados Today since last night. That can't only care do. 220. Who?
Barbados Today. News you can trust.
To news from the region, health officials in Trinidad are monitoring the spread of the Zika virus very closely, especially in pregnant women. So far, the country has 215 confirmed cases and another 200 suspected cases. The number of cases in pregnant women have also increased. More in this report from Fane Richards of TV6 News.
215 confirmed cases of Zika, with nearly 200 more under medical surveillance. But the chief medical officer says it's likely the real number of Zika cases is in the thousands.
I'm speaking with other medical practitioners. I mean, they have been seeing at least 20 per day.
The Ministry of Health confirms there was a spike in the number of Zika cases in July. That has also meant a surge in the number of pregnant women with the virus, 78 as of today. None of the fetuses has shown any signs of physical abnormalities so far. But out of the 46 pregnant women referred to Mount Hope for monitoring, 11 contracted Zika when they were under 16 weeks pregnant. It's up until this point that doctors say fetal brain development is vulnerable. Dr. Karen Sohan says since deformities aren't detected until 24 to 26 weeks into the pregnancy, it'll be a little longer before any possible abnormalities show up.
And finally, the death toll in Mexico's landslides and flooding have jumped to 38 after Tropical Storm Earl swept through the country's eastern regions. The state worst hit is Puebla, where officials say 28 people died. Another 10 people were killed in the state of Veracruz. They died after their houses were engulfed in tons of mud and rocks. And that's news and sports. But for the very latest, visit our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. Also, subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izubi Media and bus terminals and screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Or you can tune in to Channel 99 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM for the very latest. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good morning.